Hey everyone, I'm doing a bit of an experiment here today. I've been placing pond snails on this piece of Anubis to see if they will actively seek out and eat Hydra. I have a bit of a Hydra issue in this tank. They were brought in piggybacking on some plants that I had received, and I'm probably going to have to deal with it with Planaria 0 or something of that nature that will also take care of the Hydra. I've tried a lot of natural methods, including fish. I have a Spixie snail in here, and I also have pond snails and ram's horns. And what I've been trying to do today is document whether or not these pond snails will eat them. And so far, the luck that I've had hasn't been that great. What happens is they get close to the Hydra lean towards them, and their stinging cells come out, and the pond snail does exactly what it's doing right now. Goes in his shell and actively avoids them. So, do I think that the quotes on Google are incorrect saying that pond snails will eat Hydra? No. I think that it's misrepresented when they say that they will be a really good natural source of predation on Hydra. I think what happens is, incidentally, the snails probably gobble one or two up once they retract, because the Hydra, when they retract, their stinging cells also retract, so they're probably just a little jelly morsel that they could grab up without knowing. I don't think they actively seek them out. Otherwise, this guy here, he'd be all over what's going on at the end of that Anubis. The tiger endlers in here also seem to avoid them. My killifish will pick off the odd one, the clown killies, but not enough to make a difference when you have a bit of a boom going on. So, from what I've noticed, these guys will just actively ignore them. They don't seem that interested, and when they do seem interested, the stinging cells seem to stymie that a little bit and make them go away. So, I think that it does happen periodically that they're predated on by pond snails, but I also think that for the most part, when you have a situation like I do, that the Hydra have become a little bit of a problem because I do overfeed this tank. Since they did come in as hitchhikers, they're quite hard to get rid of. You can see them up there on the soup lid as well, with their little tendrils hanging down. Even some on the light bar. It's quite annoying. And I have shrimp in here that are breeding readily. I have snails breeding. I have the killifish who also lay eggs in this tank. And I just can't have them in here, or a Planaria boom for that matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to order up some Planaria 0, the kind that comes from Japan. It's in the, I think it's it's like a silver bag with white writing. Probably going to do a follow-up video on that once I get it in here. But again, it's an issue that I think solving naturally is possible if you have a very mild case of it. But will pond snails and ram's horns do the trick? No. As you can see, I have no shortage of ram's horn snails in this tank. And I still have an issue with Hydra at this point. So, this tank is not dirty. It is slightly overfed, but water changes are frequent. Filter media is changed on the regular. You know, I siphon the gravel, and they're still here. So once they become established, it's a little bit more difficult to take care of them. I used to let this tank run on its own, and now, oh, pardon me, I got whew. And now, really, I've just got to start putting some work in and get this under control, because I don't want to lose any baby shrimp, I don't want to lose any fry, and the Hydra themselves are just unsightly. So, anyhow, I hope this was helpful to you guys in wondering whether or not snails would control the Hydra population in your tank if you're having an issue. At this point, I would have to say that's a big negative, because I have all the snails that I can handle, and I still have a Hydra issue. Anyhow, people, hope you're all doing well. Happy fish keeping.